So these problems take practice. And so we're going to do a few examples here, and I'm going to try to think of the questions that you might have and answer those. Certain things we can do and certain things we can't do. One thing on this first problem, okay, let's just focus on the first problem here. You got a lot going on. You've got this first set of parentheses with an exponent of 5, and you've got the second set with an exponent of 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring those outer exponents in right off the bat. So that's going to give me c to the 20th power. Power to a power, I'm going to multiply those. D to the 10th power times, I'll just put a little dot for the times, 3 to the 4th power, c to the 4th power, and d to the 20th power. So I'm bringing in that 4 to the 3, the c, and the d. So I've got to bring that exponent in like that. Now, if you were thinking, well, I was going to, combine this c with this c at the beginning, you don't get to do that. So it's because of the outer exponents. So you really have to take care of that outer exponent first before you can do the multiplication. Okay, so if you wondered about that. 3 to the 4th, that's going to be the coefficient. And I'm going to multiply it out. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 81. Then I'm going to think about the c. I've got 20 of them here, 4 of them here. That's going to make c to the 24th power. And then I'm going to think about the d. So I have to switch my thinking. When I was multiplying, when I brought the outer exponent, but now it's like c to the 20th times c to the 4th. I'm going to add those exponents. Okay. And then d, I'm going to add those exponents, d to the 30th. So that's going to be my answer. So that was fun. I like that problem. Okay, so now here we have another problem. Again, I'm going to take care of the outer exponents first. I'm not even going to worry about that negative exponent. I see it, but I'm not going to worry about it just yet. All right, so I'm going to make this a to the negative 6, a to the 8th. So I'm multiplying here. 3 times negative 2, that's where the negative 6 came from. 4 times 2, that's where the 8 comes from. And that removes those parentheses now. In the denominator, I'm going to have a to the 20th. All right. Now, you have to make a decision. Some of you might say, well, I want to move the a to the 6th down to the bottom. You could do that. I'm not going to, but you could. Get the right answer. Okay. I'm just going to add the exponents in the numerator. And negative 6 plus 8 is 2. Now, I have a couple ways I can go. I can either go 2 minus 20 and get a negative 18. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to that rule that we had at the beginning when we said if the denominator exponent is bigger, subtract the other way. So I'm going to go 1 over a to the 20 minus 2. And I probably wouldn't even write that normally, but I just wanted you to know what I was doing. So 1 over a to the 18. I kind of think of it like canceling. I'm canceling 2 a's in the numerator with 2 of the ones in the denominator. So I'm going to have 1 over a to the 18th. Now, if you would have gone with the subtraction rule and said a to the 2 minus 20, you would have had a to the negative 18. You can't leave it that way, though. You've got to change it so it doesn't have a negative exponent. So you can do it that way, but in the end, you need a positive exponent. All right, so that one was fun, too. Whoa, look at this one. All right, so what can we do? I'm going to take a little bit different approach to this problem. I noticed that inside here, maybe I can do some simplifying first because I've got bases that are the same. So I'm going to think about it as 3. This is, there's all kinds of ways you could do it, but I'm going to do it this way. 3x to the 1 minus 2. So look at the x's. You've got an exponent of 1 in the numerator, and I'm going to subtract the 1 in the denominator. And I just chose to do it that way. Y to the 2 minus a negative 3. And all of that's being squared. I haven't even taken care of the outer exponent. Now you could have brought the outer exponent in first and gotten the right answer. You have to pick, how you're going to do the problem. And there's more than one way. I suggest that you try doing it, your way and then see if you like it. On another day, I might do this problem differently. Okay, now I went to the second set of parentheses and I was still talking, but I've got the 9. I'm not going to worry about the outer exponent just yet. I'll worry about it later. X, 1 minus 3. Y, darn it, what is my problem? Y to the negative 3 minus 2. And all of that is raised to the negative 1. Now, it's kind of messy. I don't even know if I like the fact that I'm doing it this way. But, you know, I'm going to get the right answer. I have hope. All right, 3 to the x minus 1. Y to the 5th power. Because 2 minus a negative 3 is going to be positive 5. Then I've got a 9. I've got x to the negative 2 and y to the negative 5. And all that's to the negative 1. Okay, now I have to take care of the outer exponent. So I can't do any more until I take care of the outer exponent. So I'm going to think of it as 3 squared x to the negative 2 y to the 10th times 9 to the negative 1. And I have to write that 9 to the negative 1. There's really not a good way to do it just yet, unless you used a different rule. X squared y to the 5th. All right, so I'm getting somewhere here. Now what have I got? 3 squared is 9, right? Okay, so I'm just going to make that a 9. And then I'm going to think about these x's. Now, if I add those, I should have dealt with this here. Let me put that in there. Times 9 to the negative 1. I'll just leave that there now. So that all the coefficients in front. Okay, now let me look at the x's. X squared, x to the negative 2 times x squared. I'll get them all lined up for us. And then I've got y to the 10th and y to the 5th. Okay, so I just kind of matching stuff up. So I've got the coefficient, and that's what I've got there. All right, so let's just go 9 times 9 to the negative 1. I'll deal with it later. And then this part's going to be x to the 0, and then I'm going to have y to the 15th. Okay, the x to the 0 part, this part right here, that's just a 1. I don't even need the 1, but I'll just put it there so you know where it went. X to the 0 was the 1. Okay, now I do have a negative exponent in there, so I have to deal with that. 9y to the 15th over 9. Now, you could have said, you could add those exponents. I could have done that, so. Anyway, those 9s are going to cancel. So it's just going to be y to the 15th. Now, there are probably, I could do this problem 10 different ways, So we just have to have a way that's right. So try that one. That's a good one to try. Stop the video and see if you can do that one on your own. That was a big problem. Okay, good luck.